What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Credit Plug channel where we talk about how to build credit, how to establish relationships with banks and financial institutions, and most importantly, how to get you access to high limit credit funding. If you're new to our channel or if you've been checking out our content, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Otherwise, you can like, share, or comment down below. It helps our content reach a wider audience, and we greatly appreciate the support. So for today's video, I wanted to talk about an important topic. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because just something that I see, especially with a lot of credit YouTubers and teaching people how to build credit and really leading people in the wrong direction. So I see a lot of promotion of these easy credit trade line types of accounts, things like MyJewelers Club, New Coast Direct, and Kickoff. So you see a lot of people promoting these easy trade lines, and what they're really doing is just pandering to people who have bad credit and showing them these types of trade lines as a way to build their credit up easily. But what they don't tell you is that these types of accounts actually put you in a high risk category. So you have what's called consumer finance accounts. Now, what a lot of these credit YouTubers don't really know is that in the FICO scoring model, when you have consumer finance accounts on your credit report, that actually lowers your credit score because those are looked at as high risk types of accounts, because people with good credit, they're not actually getting, consumer finance accounts. And there's a reason why I've always preached getting bank issue credit, right? I always keep a bankroll because bank issue credit is different from consumer finance accounts. So unless the particular account is backed by a major financial institution or it has Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover on it, then that's what's considered a bank issued account. Now, a consumer finance account is not necessarily just a store account because certain store accounts are backed by major financial institutions, including Community Bank, Synchrony Bank, Wells Fargo, and others. So it's not just simply store cards that are consumer finance accounts, but it's basically any type of account where it's not backed by an actual bank. So any LLC that's just issuing their own store account or issuing, let's say, a promissory note, that's not a bank issued account. That's what's considered a consumer finance account. And I'm going to jump over real quick and show you why you don't want to have a lot of these accounts on your credit report. All right, so I wanted to show you guys exactly why you don't want to have a lot of consumer finance accounts. Now, before anyone wants to argue, we are on MyFICO, and MyFICO is actually the company, Fair Isaac, who creates these credit scores. So, this is directly from the source. So we have a client's credit profile pulled up. And as you can see along the left-hand side, they have pretty decent credit, in the 700 range. Now we have here their FICO bank card score 8, and it has these different score factors, as you can see. Now, if you look right here at the bottom, right, so it says you have a consumer finance account on your credit report. Now, you might be wondering, why is that a negative thing, right? So when you hover over it, it gives you an explanation, and I'm gonna read this explanation to you guys. The presence of a consumer finance company loan on a credit report generally represents a higher risk to lenders compared to having no consumer finance company loans reported. Even if this account is reported as closed, it can still impact the score. So basically what that means, consumer finance company loans, so things like MyJewelers Club, things like Kickoff, things like New Coast Direct, those aren't accounts that are backed by a bank. It's basically just a company that creates some type of revolving credit, and maybe it's a promissory note, but it's not actually issued by a bank. It's a consumer finance company loan. Now, the reason why these represent higher risk is because you're not undergoing any type of underwriting process. It's basically you pay a fee and it reports on your credit and it manipulates the different components of your credit. So you're looking at this particular person's score now, they're in the 750 range. So that's considered good, or very good actually. But one thing you got to remember is that there's other data points lenders look at. It's not always just about the numeric score. If you go to a bank and all you have is these consumer finance company loans, MyJewelers Club, New Coast Direct, Kickoff, they're looking at that and they already flag you as high risk because those accounts don't go through any underwriting process. They're very easy to get, and the banks know this. So I know a lot of people are drawn into these easy credit types of accounts, but you have to understand that when you have a lot of them, you're already going to be flagged as high risk. And the reason why is because people with good credit, actual, good credit behaviors, they're not opening up a lot of these consumer finance company loan types of products. They're actually going after bank issued accounts. So I wanted to show you guys this example. And again, this is coming from MyFICO. So FICO is the actual, company that creates these algorithms that determine what your credit score is. So this is coming directly from the source. So for people who are promoting all of these easy credit trade lines, they're actually doing you a disservice because they're making you appear more risky when you go for bank issue types of products. So just remember, even though it's easy, doesn't always mean it's good for you. All right, so to summarize, what you want to do is focus on your bankroll, bank issued credit accounts. Now, consumer finance company loans, things like MyJewelers Club, New Coast Direct, Kickoff, those types of accounts don't hold the same weight as bank issued accounts. Now, in the example I showed you, even when it comes to factoring into your FICO score, consumer finance company types of accounts are going to be deemed high risk. Now, the reason why they're deemed high risk is because they're very easy to get, right? The easier the account to get, the less weight is going to hold. You're going to want to focus on bank issued accounts, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover. Now, it doesn't mean that all store cards are consumer finance company accounts. You have a lot of store cards that are actually backed by a major financial institution, Community Bank, Synchrony Bank, Wells Fargo, Citibank, etc. So I'm not saying that all store cards are bad for you. What I'm saying is that you have to understand what type of account is it? How is it being categorized? If it's a consumer company loan type of account, MyJewelers Club, New Coast Direct, Kickoff, then it's going to be deemed as a high risk. Now, when you think about it, when you apply for like an American Express or Chase or Bank of America or any type of, credit union, you're going to go through some type of underwriting process. So they're going to look deeply into your credit and figure out whether or not you should get approved for a certain type of account. But when you go for like MyJewelers Club, everyone's virtually going to get approved as long as they can do identity verification. So it's not really saying much about having that type of account if it's so easy for everyone to get and it's inflating your credit profile. But the FICO scoring models have adjusted to give consumer finance accounts less weight when it comes to your credit score. So lenders understand this. So don't think that, you're just going to add all of these easy, sign up for these accounts, get them reporting, and then it's going to hold the same weight as if you were to, go about, getting secure cards, bank issued accounts. Bank issue holds more weight than consumer finance accounts. Now, I know a lot of people were up in arms about MyJewelers Club and some of these other accounts not reporting anymore. But to be honest with you, that's probably a good thing in the long run because a lot of those accounts are just fluff anyways. You really need to focus on actually exhibiting, responsible financial behaviors and not just thinking about getting a shortcut. You might see your credit karma jump up when you add these easy trade lines, but at the end of the day, it's still putting you in that high risk category because people with good credit behaviors, they're not adding MyJewelers Club and New Coast Direct, right? They're trying to get bank issue types of accounts. Anyways, that's all I wanted to talk about in today's video. Let me know your comments and questions right down below. And until next time, y'all take it easy and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.